Hey, it's Craig Syracusa, and welcome to another episode of Walk in Faith, the show where we go beyond the image and we discover who our guests really are. You might know them from TV, the big screen, or even the world of sports, but do we really know who they are as a person? Do we know what motivates them? Do we know what inspires them? Well, that's what we're here to find out. On this episode of Walk in Faith, Australian tenor Alfio talks about his life as an opera singer and how his faith guided him through love and tragedy. Stay tuned and walk with us. Alfio, thank you so much for being here today.
Craig, it's good to be here.
You are an accomplished musician, a composer, songwriter. To me, you're like the young Bocelli.
Thank you very much.
What have you done?
I'm not that much younger, by the way.
Well, a little younger. Your voice, your face, you're always around the diocese performing. Tell me a little bit about this. First of all, is it true Monsignor Jamie discovered you? Because that's what he told me.
Monsignor who?
Monsignor Jamie. Do you know who he is?
Who's that guy? I've heard his name before. Is he from the Williamsburg?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I know.
yes.
Short guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. How you going? Where is he? How are you? Yeah.
Is it true that he discovered you?
He's in the back over there. He's watching, don't worry.
But honestly, tell me.
He just got me for Williamsburg.
Oh,
so
okay.
for this part of the world, yeah.
Where were you from originally?
Me, myself, and we all come from a place called Australia.
Okay.
Now, my father was born in Sicily.
Okay.
And he went to Australia in 1956. His original boarding pass, his little original ticket that went from Sicily to Australia in like 34 days on a boat. And my mother was born in Calabria, which is southern Italy. The toe, as you can see, that's where we've got our feet like that. So you can see where the toe Italy is, this part of Italy over here. And she went in 1950 at the age of 4 years old. So I was born to Italian parents in Australia. So it's like when you make pizza in Australia, you're making with Italian ingredients, but it's still made in Australia. It's still pizza, all right? I'm still Italian. People say, "You're Australian Italian?" Like, yeah, there's Italians in Australia, believe it or not.
Is it common for Italians to go from?
Here it is. America, this is America. West Coast, East Coast. This is Australia, West Coast, East Coast. Fits right inside. It's almost the same size geographically, but we have only 24 million people in Australia. Out of those, 1 million are Italian.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. But then you come over this side of the world and you've got like 20 million and something Italians, because America is so much closer to Italy than what it is to Australia. To get to Italy from Australia, you need 30-something hours. It's crazy. It's too far away. Yeah, it's my story.
And do you go back quite often to Italy? Or
I've been about 5-6 times over there. I haven't been here for a couple of years. I've got to go back. This year I'm going back.
Do you have a lot of family still in Italy?
Oh, yeah. All over. North, south, east, west, up, down. They're all over.
So what was it like growing up in Australia as a kid? Because you told me on the phone that you used to play band in the church and you were in the choir.
Well, yeah, I'm the youngest of 5 kids in my family. So my 2 older brothers, 2 older sisters, and then myself. And my older brother used to go to the church together with his 2 older brothers, because they're roughly a couple of years apart, and they'd play the guitar and sing in church. Then they got married and left the nest, and then I took over, and I went by myself, took the organ, the piano, and played in the church. And I used to love doing it, because I had to pick the songs and put them up on the board, the numbers on the board, and hymn number 26, hymn number 30, whatever, and How Great Thou Art, Amazing Grace, the good old hymns that I love to sing, And old ladies would come up to me and say to me, "Oh, we only come to church to hear you sing." And I said, "Well, don't tell Father Bray about that. He won't be excited about that." A true story. In this church, St. Margaret Mary's in Marylands, which is in Sydney, Australia, a man approached me after Mass, younger man, maybe about 30-something, and he says, I love your voice. I would like for you to record a song of all the a CD. Back in those days, talking about a tape. I made him a tape of all the church songs that you sing from my auntie in Lebanon. A lot of Christians in Lebanon. I did it. I said to my dad, "Papa, what do we do? This guy come to me, he wants me to make a tape." And my dad says, "We do it. We're going to do it." Okay, so my brother helped me. I got whatever I could get together. I sat in the living room of my brother's house and recorded these songs direct to tape. So this guy, I still know, we still keep in touch, has the original, first, only recording of me singing in church.
And how old are you at the time?
I was only about 15, 16 years old.
When did you first
It
start
sounds
playing?
terrible, by the way. It's really bad. It's like, rah, 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 rah. It's like, had no expression. I was learning, you know.
How old are you when you first started playing instruments and started to
I've
sing?
been playing since I was, just born. My brothers play guitar and all keyboards and accordions, and everyone plays something. So they all sing. Family all sings. We can all hold a tune. Every one of us,
Really?
We can do harmonies. We sort of like Jackson 5, but we've got the Banana Bunch because my last name's Bonanno, so different.
And when you were growing up in Australia, who were you inspired by?
Sorry,
Was it
did you say growing up? I haven't grown up yet, Craig.
when you were in the transition of becoming
Yes,
a young...
yeah, I'm still there.
I mean, who were you inspired by? Was it your family and relatives, or were you inspired by any of the, celebrities or stars? And
Back in those days, it would have been Elvis Presley.
You're giving away your age too now. With
Which age?
I don't know. I'm like Elvis Presley. Let me do some subtraction.
Elvis Presley, Tom Jones, Roy Orbison, and go further back, Domenico Modugno, Claudio Villa, Andrea Bocelli of today. This kind of thing. Michael Bublé's good. He's great.
Big fan. Fan.
You like Bublé?
I do.
I'll tell him you
actually.
said that.
I'll give him a call if you don't mind.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, a big fan of Bocelli, Bublé. So would you consider yourself, is it a crooner, or what is the difference between a crooner? I'm sorry. What is the difference between a crooner or an opera singer, or what is the difference?
People say, are you a tenor? I said, no, about a 9.5, because I'm not really a full-on opera music. It's a discipline within itself to be an opera singer, and it's not what I wanted to do. I had every chance to do it when I was living in Italy, in Emilia-Romagna, in Parma, which is up here somewhere. And I studied at a school where they just taught opera, Had a teacher and everything, and the general consensus was, your voice is amazing, you could be the next Pavarotti if you I didn't have that discipline. I wanted to do my own thing, write my own songs, and just have the tools. So the voice was always there when I needed it, using it the right way. And that's how I did it. That's why I say I'm not a tenor. But I am a tenor,
9.5 /
9.5. It's enough. It's close to 10. You know what I mean? It's enough. Yeah.
Well, Alfio, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to hear more about that. We'll be right back with Alfio on Walk in Faith. Alfio, thank you so much. So now, I've heard you sing plenty of times. I mean, after getting permission
from... Do you want your money back?
Yeah, no, well, actually, no. But after getting permission from Monsignor Jamie, we've worked together several times. I mean, you have a gift. I mean, an amazing gift. Tell me now, do you feel like, is this a gift you developed? Is this something you feel like you were born with? Is this something that God gave you? How do you feel about your gift?
It's definitely something which was given by a higher being, God, yes. And something I'm very grateful for, and not just because I can do what I do, but the time you have to find yourself and to think when you haven't got a 9-to-5 job. I'm a thinker by birth, by nature. I'm a natural thinker. I'm emotional. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I think it's up here somewhere, or this one, probably this one, close to the heart. And that time, it really, really, really is valuable. When you can think about what you're doing, what's your purpose on this earth, what are you here for? And I can say to you right now that my purpose on this planet is to spread love through music, spread happiness through music. And it's been, joy. People have been receiving joy through my music. Right now, as we speak, people are listening to my albums while they're driving along in their car, and that's great. But recently, I've come to understand there's more to it than just singing songs about love and about I saw her walking there or I saw him walking there and I fell in love and blah, blah, blah. There's so much more to tell. And when you have a real story to tell, it just emulates out of your body, just comes out into music. And that's real songwriting. We'll get into that later, won't we? There's something else you want to talk about?
Yeah, and it's interesting because a lot of people don't ever discover their purpose, or they discover their gifts, but they don't know how to use that gift for their purpose. And it's interesting that you've said that. When did you discover your purpose?
Ooh, when I became true to myself, when I started to love myself unconditionally, because without that unconditional love for yourself, you're always going to be a lost soul. No matter how how you want to cover it up with whatever makeup you want to put on, deep down you're always going to be empty. And that's a very, very sad thing. If you can love yourself, then you can love somebody else. And you've heard it a million times in your life. Until you get it, you don't really get it. And thank God I've gotten it. I understand it, what it means, and I'm grateful that I'm there, But there's always room to improve, 100%. And we always revert back to our habits, our bad habits, because we are naturally human beings, creatures of habit, and it's very easy to slip back into what's comfortable, If it's depression, if it's alcohol, if it's self-harm in so many different ways, it's so easy to slip back into that because it's where you came from. And where you came from, you always go back to it. And you've got to be strong and say, no, I have to move forward to be happy.
And it's true. It's like you said, it's rituals. It's doing something every day because otherwise you fall back to your old habits.
Yep.
And a lot of people also don't want to look that closely at themselves.
Because they're scared.
Yeah, and to say,
scary.
because you could go through life, like when I was young, I money was like, I worshipped money.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I realized like, I lived a portion of my life wrong, and some people will continue to live that way.
Well, it wasn't wrong. It was a learning process.
Yes.
And if you didn't do that, you wouldn't be where you are now.
You're right.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to look that deep into themselves. And it's interesting that you're willing to share that with us. I mean, do you remember the moment? Was it a moment where you sort of said, I need to change my life around? Did something happen? Or was it sort of a process or a transition?
It's definitely a process. But there was a moment, being true to who I am, just coming out and being who I am and what I am and loving who I love. It was a moment where I just said, okay, I wrote the script, I wrote it all down, I pressed send, out, gone. That moment, just the whole weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders. It was an amazing, experience. And I did it for love. Love of somebody else, but for love of myself as well.
And you picked a career that, is difficult, right?
And it was always such an issue for me. Like, how am I going to do this? It's going to ruin my career. It's going to be suicide and blah, 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 and this and that. And my career went better after that. Because if you're driving in the driver's seat and you're stuck in first gear, where are you going to go? You're not going to go anywhere. You're stuck in first gear. When I released all those demons off my shoulders, now I'm driving. Now we can go somewhere. After 40-something years,
So now during these times as a musician, it's difficult. Did you rely or lean on anything during those times? Was faith part of sort of that journey?
I had my mother, God bless my mother, home in Australia. Hello, Mum. My mother goes to church every day. A good Roman Catholic, brought up and raised and bred. She prays for me every day. I think she prays enough for me, for everybody. So I had a little stage in my life where I didn't believe in anything. I was lost. I realized that I needed to believe in something very, very important. You have to believe in something. If it's Jesus Christ, if it's God, believe in something. Call Him what you want to call Him, or call that greater existence, whatever you want to call it, but believe in something, because the something ultimately is inside you. And if you don't believe in anything, you don't believe in yourself. That's my biggest revelation.
So you relied on that during time. Were there times where you said, "Hey, I want to quit, or I want to give up"?
You know something? I'll tell you a funny story. When I had a breakup with my partner, and the only thing that got me through those nights, and I'm laying in bed feeling just, when you go through a breakup and it wasn't you who initiated it, it's hell on earth, because you're just like a little lost puppy trying to find his master, find his owner, and it's crazy. I lay in bed and I prayed the Hail Mary over and over and over again in my head. Hail Mary, full of grace, Lord, blah, 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 in my head, Hail Mary. The familiarity of praying the Hail Mary in my mind took me back to the comfort of my mother, and it got me through it.
Wow. And
that's crazy. That's a true story.
You ever share that story with your mother?
No, but she's going to hear it and she's going to cry. Don't cry, Mama. No, I'm okay. I'll be home soon. Don't worry.
Well, Alfio, we're going to take a quick break. And you told me a story the other day on the phone, and I wanted you to share it. I want to hear it from your own words, if you will. Be right back with Alfio. Alfio, welcome back. So I mentioned before, you told me a story the other day about a friend, a life coach, and she passed away recently. And I wanted to hear the story, and I wanted the viewers to hear the story. Do you mind if you share the story?
My life coach, Laurie Fields. So Laurie details are passed on to me by a friend who was going through a tough time. Actually, an NYPD police officer, actually. And he knew I was going through this rough patch with my partner, and he said, call this lady. I said, well, who is she? What does she do? She's a life coach. I said, okay. So I texted her, iMessage, little blue one, you know.
Mhm.
I said, hi, I'm Alfio. I got your number from so-and-so. What do you do? How much do you charge? What's involved? She responded. She says, hello, lovely to meet you, blah, blah, blah. I'm a life coach, clairvoyant, spiritual guide, spiritual healer. I don't charge anything, but if I help you, I would expect that you would help other people. And I was like, really? She's not going to charge anything? She's just going to just help me out of the blue? And so we set up a call, and we used to talk every Monday night at 9 o'clock New York time, and she was in Arizona. We'd talk for 1 hour, 2 hours sometimes. It was the best part of my week, talking to Laurie on the phone, because the amount of positivity and love and light she brought into me, into my life. She had the answers for every problem. She had an answer to every problem. She had a story to tell about every problem. And it just made you realize that whatever you're going through, someone's been there and they've gotten through it. And whatever you're going through, someone's been there and worse and more, and they got through it. You're not the only one to change jobs. You're not the only one to have a breakup. You're not the only one whose brother won't talk to you. You're not the only one whose sister-in-law doesn't want to know you because you're gay. This kind of stuff. And it makes you realize, you know. So the story goes, I spoke to her for that whole time, and she was such a huge influence on me in a positive way. She was such a bright light in my life. Laurie got sick pretty quickly. And when we found out that she was sick, there's no way for me to really talk to her because she was in intensive care and she was unable to communicate. Her husband, out of the blue, who I've never spoken to, mind you, they're in Arizona. I've never met these people in my life, right? And I'm in New York. He rings me or I rang him. I can't remember how it happened, but Laurie had 3 last messages for me before she passed. Her final parting words. Now, just think about that. This beautiful soul, this beautiful human being, thought about me on her deathbed, and she had 3 things to say to me. Stay true to yourself. Don't fall back into old habits. And the third one, finish the song. Laurie just happened to have been a singer, beautiful singer. So we had some sort of affiliation with the music, and she told me that she loved my music and my voice, and I was like, okay, this person's not going to tell lies, you know. And whatever self-doubt I had in my mind, she really helped me to believe that I am a certain level. Because she would compare me to Andrea Bocelli. She'd say, I used to like Bocelli, now I like your voice better.
Wow.
This person doesn't lie. She's a life coach, you know, she's a spiritual guide. She'd take me through these guided meditations where I'd be laying on the bed or sitting down on the couch on the sofa, and she'd say, I'm going to count you down from 10, and she'd count you down, and she'd take you on this journey, and she took me back to my childhood. And I woke up this one time, I was crying in tears out of just love and just relief. Amazing thing. It's such a sad story that she's gone, you know. But back to the third thing that her husband told me, Stan. Stan said, finish the song. I said, Stan, which song? Because I'd shown her a few different songs. And he says, well, I don't know, maybe write her a song. And I said, write her a song? How am I going to do? The time is like she haven't got much time, you know. So I love candles. So I had this candle, black candle, and had about that much wax left in it, hardly no more wax. I had my piano there. I put the candle, I lit them up, started writing the song. And in my mind, I said, I've got to finish this song before that candle goes out. Because when that candle goes out, she's never going to hear the song because she's gone. Huh? So I write the song, And I kid you not, within less than 2 hours, music and lyrics. Turn around to my computer, email the song to Laurie, hoping to God she's going to be able to hear it. The email went off. It's a MacBook, so the whoosh noise went off. I turned around, the candle went out.
Wow.
My head stood up on end. I yelled. I said, "Oh my God, what happened?" You know. The lesson was not the candle went out, she passed away, I wrote the song. No, because she passed away a few days after that from memory. The lesson was, Alfio, when you put your mind to it, when the situation is right, you can write a song with meaning, with so much intention and intent in 2 hours. Craig, I've written songs 20 years ago and never finished them. Do you know why? I never thought they were good enough. Oh, I don't like it. Next. Oh, I don't like it. Nah.
What's the average song that you've completed? How long does it usually take?
As I said, 20 years.
20 years. So you got 2 songs.
Do you know what I mean? No, what I'm saying. It was a huge lesson for me to believe in yourself. And that all comes from self-love. And her biggest lesson to me was stay true to yourself. Don't fall back into old habits, but that's all secondary. Self-love. Love yourself.
See, do you know if she ever heard the song?
I believe she heard the song.
What do you think she would say?
I know she heard the song because on a spiritual level, she heard the song. You know?
What do you think she would say to you if she was here today and she heard the song?
She'd be happy, she'd be proud, you know. You know the song Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen? He wrote so many verses of that song. And when a songwriter writes a song, he gets the royalties. He or she gets the royalties up until he dies. 70 years after the death of the songwriter, the song becomes public domain. Leonard Cohen, what did he do? He says, I don't want anything for the song. It's going straight into public domain. He's still alive. Anyone can record Hallelujah today and not pay a cent in royalties. That's giving back to the world. And with this song, it's my way of giving back the message of love back to the world through music, through this song, through this story, which is why I'm here today telling this story.
Is there any way you could just, sing a verse or just tease a little bit?
She's leaving, she's going. She's finally found her way to the light. She's leaving, she's going. Let her go. She loves you. She showed it. All the stories she told you when your world was low. She showed you the light that's within you. Now let her go. This is the couple of the verses of the song.
It's beautiful. Let
her go and shout her final hallelujah with God tonight. Let her go. She did her job here. She served her purpose to instill love and light and hope into so many people. One by one. Over the phone. All over the world.
And that's what you're doing now. Through
because
your music.
Of her.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be sitting here now telling this story, drinking out of a green cup.
So I know you mentioned that there were 3 things that she left with you. Is there anything that you could share with, with the audience, with the public, that's something that she really inspired you? I know it was love yourself, but is there anything else that you would...
Absolutely, Craig. Love yourself the way you would love an innocent child. Unconditional love for yourself and forgiveness. Go back to whatever you subconsciously in your mind that you've been holding onto, and let it go. Mm-hmm. Forgive yourself for whatever you think you've done wrong in your life as a little boy, a little girl, till adulthood. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, as an international songwriter, recording artist, we are all children living in adults' bodies. We all come from where we were as children. Our childhood shaped who we are. So go back to your childhood. Love who you were as a child. Embrace, hug, kiss, love that baby inside of you, because that is the core of who you are.
Mm. And so she taught you so much, and that's beautiful. Did you ever get a chance to tell her and thank her? Is there anything you would say to her now if she was here?
If I could say anything to Laurie now, she knows how much I love, how much I appreciate the light and the love she spread, not only in my life, but through me to so many other people.
And now through that love and through that relationship, you're able to share that love through your music and through this song.
Through the music,
It's beautiful.
It's an amazing story, and I wish this song will be famous all around the world. Not for the money, because I don't care about the money. Money's nothing. Happiness is everything. I hope this song goes worldwide, so everyone can pick it up and listen to the meaning, like the greatest love of all. is the love for yourself. That song is about self-love. It's one of the most famous songs ever written. Everyone knows the song. I almost started breaking out in the song, didn't I? No, I'm not going to do that.
There are a few people that might not know the song, but I think it will. I mean, because your intentions are pure. This is beautiful. And, you know, if there's anything we can do to help you, please.
Thank you,
We're
Craig.
here for you. Alfio, is there a way for people to reach out, or, you know, do you have a Facebook or anything?
There's this new thing going around right now called the World Wide Web. And
I think I know that.
yeah, and they've even abbreviated it, and it's called
AOL?
www. Yeah, and in Italy it's called www. True story. So it's www.alfiomusic.com, and also on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram's Alfio Official, Facebook's Alfio Music, and yeah, you can find where I'm at and what I'm doing and where I'm spreading my message of love and singing songs and bringing happiness to people at a town near you.
Thank you so much, Alfio.
Thanks, man.
God bless you.
Thanks, man. God bless you too. Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Walk in Faith. Always remember, you have the ability to inspire and evangelize through your words and actions. Till next time.